Okay guys, after I created my most recent video about the Amoeba formation, I remembered this battle and I thought I would talk about similar concepts on a different map. And we are here at Hidden Village, and the most notable thing about this battle in my book is that we sent nobody over to the island. Nobody on our team ventured over there. Nobody said anything about it. It's just one of those random things that happens, perhaps because no vehicle headed that way, nobody followed him. That might have something to do with it. Another factor could be that because there are three arties on each side, there are fewer vehicles to deploy. And when I saw this happening, I was very happy because this is a consistent pattern in World of Tanks. Uh, when vehicles move off and try to do stuff by themselves, it often ends badly. And on this map, I've seen many times, like three mediums go over there and they get wiped out. Two heavies wiped out. Now, it might work if you sent an overwhelming force over there. Possibly. They would blow away what they encountered, and that might win the battle all by itself. But in that case, the people remaining over here, they have to be aware of that, and they have to play defense. And coordinating that to that level in a pub can be a problem. Now, another good thing about the fact that we sent nobody over there is that, in all likelihood, and in this battle, that's exactly what happened. Their Foch, the E-50M, the Pershing, the T-28, and the Indian Panzer all went over there. And damage per minute is the coin of the realm in World of Tanks. And those guys were wandering around looking for a non-existent opponent, while our guys over here were racking up significant damage on the enemy team. And in my opinion, that is a battle-winning factor. Now, there is another thing. This is just like my first video about the Amoeba formation. XVM coincidentally reported, again, a 37% chance of us winning. So the fact that our deployment was very conservative, very cautious, not adventurous really in any way, that helps us for sure, because our guys are able to support one another and nobody is isolated from assistance. Now, this battle is notable also for another reason, and the reason is there's Sela, or Sela, I don't know how to say his name, a very well-known player from Guerrillas, and it turned out he was streaming this battle on Twitch. And I went and looked at his replay, and to my surprise, I discovered that he had almost nothing to say about this fight. I was expecting him to make pertinent comments and pass on some of his wisdom about the game and gameplay and tactics and stuff, and it was almost totally absent, in fact completely absent, which was a bit of a surprise to me. Anyways, I'm going to hit the space bar here and advance the battle at regular speed. And before I do that, I should mention one more thing. Similar to the previous video I posted about the Amoeba formation, I appear in one area of the map and then I switch flanks to try to break through into their backfield from a different avenue of approach. So away we go. Now, I was platooned in this battle with BTO and Red Patch, and BTO unfortunately got a little bit overenthusiastic about attacking a Jag Tiger here in a few minutes, and it cost him his tank. Tier 8s in a Tier 10 game, they have to recognize their role. It cannot be too aggressive. It cannot do it in the front lines. They have to be extremely cautious and survive so that they potentially can intervene decisively in the end stage and finish off wounded animals. Really, that's your only hope, especially against those Tier 10 guns. I mean, you just cannot expect to duke it out with those guys mano a mano. Now, Salah over there, he's driving a T-49 there. He just fired his 152 millimeter boomstick. I'm sure that's a lot of fun to play with. Now, our AMX-50B here is in a great position, in my opinion, guarding this area. I should have hit the spacebar again and just quickly state that those guys over on the island, I mean, they have a problem. If they want to approach us, they have to appear on the other side of that river, and that is just a dangerous thing to do, and that also is in our favor because our guys are in pretty good defensive positions, and if they appear, we can hammer them. And as you can see, look at the mini map. This is the Amoeba formation in Excelsis for sure. And like I said earlier, I'm totally happy about this. And I have, many replays that show more or less the same thing, where essentially we're pulling a trick on the enemy, and they fall for it, and they don't adapt. So away we go again. Now BTO there is on that forward slope, and we know there's vehicles on the island, the Foch and the E50. So, he's just been hammered. He's on fire. And the good news is that Jag Tiger on the enemy team, just committed a suicide rush there. But again, here's another mistake. That AMX 1390, he did not need to get involved in that firefight. And, I think that's a bad scouting move. And I have a feeling he's going to not make it there, if memory serves. Yeah, he's gone. Now, here's my flank switch. And now, the good thing about this is that this is a battle with 3 arties. So, in that case, the avenues of approach are guarded by fewer vehicles. That's just simple math. They've only got 12 guys. Actually, they're down to 10 instead of 15. Now, that T95 cannot possibly see me there with my camo values. So, I'm going to work my way forward here. And, what I want is to go past the Jag Panzer E100 and the T95 after they fire their guns. So I'm waiting here for the shot, if I can detect it. There it is. And that IS-7 just got hammered. And good news and fortunate circumstance here, the T95 fired just before I got there. And I should also point out a mistake here. That guy from Bulba, the 1390, he should have chased me immediately. He hesitated. Maybe he was reloading. A lot of guys with autoloaders and a clip, they have a mental block that they can't get involved in the fighting while they're reloading. In my opinion, he should have chased me and crashed into me and tried to do something to stop me from lighting up their artillery. He's also at 100% there, and when he reappears, he's at 40%. So, he might not have been dancing enough to avoid arty fire. I don't know who hit him, but, it was a costly damage to him and to his team. So away we go. Now, I've got a zigzag here. There's the guy that killed the IS-7 on our team, so he's got more than one round in all likelihood. So I zigzag. Oh, that was close. I lit up the M40, and there's the other batch at our Tier 10 Arty. One of them is down. I'm not going to go into the corner to attack him. Too dangerous. He's got 4 rounds. He's pointed right at me. It's not easy, trust me. That T-28 shot at me. So my best bet is to, in a sacrificial move here, make sure this thing dies. At this stage of the battle, I think it's a fair exchange and potentially get away.
Penetration. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is hit. Enemy is hit.
There we go. So the 1390 is definitely coming after me now. Too late in my opinion. And as I said, he's knocked down to 40%. An interesting question here is, should I turn around and crash into him and try to eliminate him? I think it's 50-50, and I don't have XVM turn on in battle, but I did see that he was from Bulba, so I think I decided to give that guy as wide a berth as possible and try to get away. I'm pretty confident about the win at this stage, so I'm just going to try to avoid him. He fired one shot. There's a shot for no damage. There's a shot, and his 4th shot wrecked my engine. I repaired it as fast as I could and got out of there. So this is a good win. Our red patch is in 100% battle condition to intervene in the later stages, and the T-32 as well is undamaged. I don't know how good a player he is, but And I'm also not going to claim that my intervention there was decisive. You know, it was important, but you have to credit all the players on our team that played conservatively and didn't attempt to do too much, and you know, that's really awesome. So Red Patch has a date there with Selah, and let's see how it goes. Okay, okay, he just hit him for 254. Selah just shot back 458, and now Red Patch gets to finish him off. And he's going to try to take cover, I believe, behind that rock over there, but they're going to tap him before he gets out of the danger zone. Fortunately, he did not die. Okay, so this, like I said, it's a good win, and I'm just going to hit the space bar and sort of editorialize here. You know, I have to get it off my chest, and this is what these two videos about the amoeba formation are all about. You know, I've played with a lot of people who say at the start of the battle, you know, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. They say things like that. Secondarily, they say things like, we have to send players here, we have to send players there. In this case, you know, nobody said it, but you know, people might have said to me, "Oh, we've got to cover the island," and my answer back is nonsense. On this map, you know, we're not far away from our flag. The formation we adopted is way better, especially if your team is weaker. Mutual support becomes even more important when individually the skill level is lacking, and that compensates for that to some degree. Anyways, you know, I want people to observe the movements of their teammates and not have preconceived or fixed notions about favorite places to play, or you know, overly concerned about guarding flanks when it's not necessary to do so. You know, there's a very famous battle. The first time somebody refused the flank that we know of in military history, you know, it's the Battle of Leuctra in around 370 BC. You know, that's 2,300 years ago, and the concept has been utilized over and over again. And it's a certain element of trickery and playing with people's expectations and habits. And if you can, you know, deploy in a manner that fools them or bamboozles them, you know, that's awesome. And that's, in my opinion, that's exactly what happened in this battle. And those guys on the island there did not uh, reassess the situation, and you know, they suffered accordingly. So, anyways, it's game over, and I hope you enjoyed the video and the editorializing. Good night.